In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to build a voice AI agent that can make 10,000 calls per day on behalf of whatever company wants to use it. And I'm going to show you exactly how I do it, what platforms I use, and what prompting skills I implement in order to make the AI agent sound amazing. So without further ado, let's hop right into the Nova Echo AI dashboard. Now, Nova Echo is the most advanced conversational voice AI platform in the world right now, and that's why I'm going to be using Nova Echo. And so inside here, the first thing we're going to be doing is going over to where it says phone numbers, because before we even start building an agent, we want to buy a phone number. That way we can do test calls once it's ready. We're going to press buy phone number. We can choose a country. I'm going to do the United States and choose an area code. Let's do a 646. We got one there. So we're going to press purchase and then confirm. Next, we're going to go over here and click on voice agents. And we're going to choose between an outbound or inbound. In this case, since we're going to be making 10,000 calls a day outbound, we're going to go ahead and choose an outbound agent, which means it's going to call people versus getting called by people. Then there's a bunch of different languages. I'm going to go ahead and stick with English just because everyone that I'm going to be calling in this test campaign is going to be speaking English. Then we have the opening message. This is the first thing the AI says as soon as it calls somebody. Okay, so I'm just going to put, hey, how you doing? Name. Then we have a lot of different voices to choose from. These are all great. I personally really like Troy and Margarita. So I think I'm gonna go Margarita. Women voices tend to do better in general. Then we have counter booking and live transferring. So in this use case, I'm gonna actually set up call transferring, although you can also set it up to automatically book appointments over the phone. So for the call transfer, we're gonna make it prompt based, or excuse me, we're gonna make it keyword based instead of prompt based. Prompt based would mean that whenever we tell the AI to transfer, it transfers, versus whenever it says a certain phrase that we tell it to say, it transfers. So it's a small difference, but it can make a big difference, right? So I'm going to just put transfer now, and then I'm going to put a number here. Perfect. So now whenever the AI says transfer now, it will transfer to this random number. Perfect. Then we have some setting adjustments here. So I'm going to quickly run through them, and then I will show you how to do the prompt, and then I'll show you how to add this into an automation flow and actually start a campaign. So we have a double call. This will call people twice in a row if they don't pick up the first time. I always like to have this on when we're doing outbound calls because it increases the amount of people that pick up the phone. It gets past some blockers, all that good stuff. Then we have some sensitivity options. I typically like to keep this on low and auto as well. If you put this on high, what it can do is it can make it so that the AI will actually respond quicker if somebody tries to interrupt it. The only problem is if you have background noise, the AI might think you're trying to interrupt it and respond too quick. And here I like to keep it on auto. On sensitive, it will actually respond faster. Latency will be lower. So when you are done talking, the AI will respond to you quicker. However, what could happen if you put it on sensitive is that it will respond before you're done talking if you pause, because it will see a pause as the end of a turn. So I'd like to keep this on auto. AI creativity, I'm going to turn that up a little bit just to make it a little bit more dynamic. The initial message delay, I'm going to leave this at 0. This is how long it takes it to say this. I want it to say it immediately. Now we have the prompt. Now I'm actually going to be pretending that we are a voice AI agency because we work with a lot of voice AI agencies, and a lot of them will use this to actually get clients. So they'll use their own tech to get clients, which is what you want to do, right? So I'm going to put, first, I'm going to put prompting. Okay, so these are the sections. Then I'm going to put a script. Then I'm going to put a knowledge base, and that should be good for now. There's more stuff that you can add. This is like the 20% that's going to get 80% of the results. Okay, so the prompting, we're going to say, your name is James, and you are working for Voice AI Magic. That's the name of some random company I just made up, Voice AI Magic. And your goal is to call companies and sell them on implementing voice AI technology into their customer service. Okay, perfect. You live in Florida and you're a human. Okay. So that's super basic prompting, but it's going to work. It's going to basically give it some context about why it's calling people, where it's calling from, and if somebody asks it, where are you from, it will have something to respond with. Then we have the script. So the script we're actually going to start with what their answer will be to this question. This is the first thing it's going to say, right? So the AI's going to say, hey, how you doing, name? They're going to probably say good. So we're going to say, glad to hear it. This is James from Voice AI Magic. I was wondering how much you're spending on your customer service teams. They're going to answer, right? And then we're going to say, oh, wow, that's actually a lot. Have you thought about using an AI that sounds so human that over 95% of people that call it can't tell it's an AI, and that can answer every call you get 24/7 for 80% for 20%, excuse me, for 20% of the cost. So this is a pretty banger line, okay? And obviously we want to test this a lot because this is a lot of very pitchy, salesy things up front, but still, oh wow, that's actually a lot. Have you thought about using an AI that sounds so human that over 95% of people that call it can't tell it's an AI that can answer every call you get 24/7 for 20% of the cost? I mean, that's a damn good offer right there. And that's exactly what agencies who work with Nova Echo are able to offer. And so then they're probably going to say, yeah, I'd be interested in checking that out. So we're going to say, okay, great. Glad to hear you're interested. Could I live transfer you? I'm not going to put live transfer. Could I transfer you to someone on our team that can show you a demo? Oh, you know what's really cool? I just got an idea. Could I transfer you to an AI assistant so you can talk to it about what it can do? That's a really cool idea. Oh, you can actually transfer to another AI assistant, and that other one will admit to being an AI assistant, and we'll be able to talk more about what it's able to do for that person. So it's a really cool kind of stage flow, I guess you could say. And then knowledge base, this is where we're going to put questions and answers. So we'll do question, answer, question, answer. Oops, question. I'm just going to do 3 for now. So question, how much does it cost? Only a few $100s per month, and it can save tens of thousands. Okay, question. Let's do how many languages does it speak? The answer would be over 35. Oops, 35. And then we'll do how quickly can it get set up? Can be up and running within just 14 days. Awesome. So now we're going to press save. We're going to name this agent to sell voice AI. Then we're going to press save. And I forgot one thing. So we didn't actually set up that live transfer. Remember, it has to say transfer now in order to transfer. So could I transfer you? And then if they say yes, say, okay, great, transferring now. Perfect. So now when it says transferring now, it will actually transfer that call. So we're going to save this agent again. Now that we're in Nova Echo CRM, if we go over to Nova Inbox and the Nova Contact Lists, we're going to be able to see a whole bunch of leads that we imported at a different time, right? And you can import tens, hundreds of thousands of leads. There's no limit on here. So what you can do is just highlight all of these leads. We can select all 101 leads. We can add a tag to them. And the tag that you're going to want to add is start initial outreach campaign. Okay. Then we'll do first campaign. And as soon as we add this tag, that AI that we just set up is going to call all of these contacts, and it'll call 100 people in around a minute and a half. That's how we have it set up right now. So it'll call them all, start live transferring them to that number, and we'll just start to rack up conversations between the secondary AI system and the person that it just originally called. Now, if we really want to get super complex, that second AI system could then try to book them into an appointment with a human to close that deal, or could just send them a payment link. That way they can start paying a subscription and get started immediately. So if you want to get access to Nova Echo AI and Nova Echo CRM so you can build agents just like this, there'll be a link in the description below to book a call with our team. We'll give you a full demo of the technology in depth. We'll show you exactly how it can work for your business. And if there's any other questions you have, or if you're interested in actually selling it as a voice AI agency, you can also ask those questions on the call. So regardless, have an amazing day. And I hope to see you on a call using the link in the description down below.